Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Hurdle the Line. I am your host, Fletch, and joining me for this week's episode, well, I've just got one with me today. But
Mr.
it,
Lonely.
well, it's two of us, so we can't be too lonely. How are you,
No.
Batch?
Yeah, very well, thank you. And yourself?
I can't complain. Can't complain. I had a bit of a weird weekend this week. Well, I say weird weekend. Sunday hit me like a ton of bricks, and you can ask Mrs. Fletch this. I was climbing walls yesterday. So last weekend, because it was the
Yeah.
school holidays, I had little Fletch. Um,
Yeah.
and that first Sunday without football, like, because it was school holidays, I had it till the middle of the week. So normally she's gone by X time on Sunday. She was there throughout the night on, so obviously throughout the night. So kept me busy, kept me doing lots of things.
Yeah.
Didn't really think about it. So this Sunday just gone, the realization that no football, no child. And I was like, it got to, I think it was like 7 o'clock, and I said to Mrs. Fletch, I was like, surprised you're still awake. She's like, why? And I was like, because it's nearly 11. It's 7 o'clock. Ah, mate, it's hard.
Yeah. It's very peculiar, especially for me. I usually do I've got my Sunday thing of watching the Browns and watching Red Zone
Yep.
with if with the early slate, I'll watch Red Zone for the late slate. If
Yeah.
with the late slate, I'll watch uh red zone for the 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it's gone very quiet as far as NFL goes. Luckily,
Very quiet.
as Brits, we've got the British football season.
We do. Yes. Um, we've got starting on the 27th of March is the UFL season. Um,
Yes.
which I am fuming because they've taken a team out of Detroit and put it in Columbus, of all places.
Ohio.
Yeah, so as you can imagine, that's a very sore topic for me. I don't want to do UFL this year, really, at this moment. I'm not very happy with them. Um, so, especially given where they've then gone to. Um,
Well, why would anyone not want to go to Michigan to Ohio?
do you want the answer to that one? Because it'll get us cancelled. It'll get us
By
cancelled.
the way, I just put that fishing rod out.
Yeah. Try to get me cancelled on my own network. How dare you, sir? Um, but no, it's like, well, we've got the UFL, which is going to be really, which should be fun. It's something different. Again, it's something a bit different. Um, you've got the combine starting this weekend,
Yes.
which is really cool. I had was very fortunate to be on a call with Daniel Jeremiah the other day,
Oh, really?
in which he was giving some of his thoughts ahead of the combine with like a media call. Um, didn't get to ask a question, though I did have a question loaded just in case. And then
Yeah.
someone by the name of Michael McQuaid of Pro Football Ireland asked that pretty much very question. Um, so thanks, Michael, for stealing my question. I did message him afterwards and was just like, "You stole my question." I wouldn't have got the chance to answer it,
Oh,
ask it, but
today each team have named their international fan of the year. Did you
they
see that?
have. They have as well. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get them up in a second. Actually, I need to reopen the page for that. Um, which we can go through because I've seen one of the fans who's been named, and when I tell you how I cannot hide how happy I am for this person
Oh,
because they
really?
absolutely they're a friend of the network, even if they don't realise it. I've decided that I've decided that they're our friend. Um,
You decide. It's your
yeah, I've
network.
decided that he's one of our friends. Um, but he's a friend of the network. He was part of part of the original kind of reason this network exists. Very, very happy for him. Which, like I said, we'll get onto that in a second. But like I say, after that, you've got mid-April, and a lot of the teams for Brit Ball have started announcing their schedules for the year. Most teams starting on, I know the Titans and a load of others start on the 12th of
Yeah,
April, which is Easter Sunday.
we've got two teams down this way. They're not. I don't think they're as high as Britball, but they play NFL against each other. The Cornish Monarchs and
Well, yeah, we
Plymouth
said they are
Vanguard.
Britball. They are Brit,
They're
but Britball is just a term for American
for
football teams in
Britain.
Britain who
Yeah,
compete within the British system. Um, I will
because I know
definitely.
there was a big kickoff about. I think it was the Edinburgh team had to go play all their games away or something. I saw it on Facebook in one of the NFL UK groups
Yeah.
months
Um,
ago. This was, and there was a big kickoff about that for Britball, but
goodness, yeah. So I haven't. Well, I haven't seen that specifically. I was caught up. There's been too many scandals with European-based American football as of late, particularly around that time of year, around the September, October time last year. Too many scandals. The European League of Football was going through all sorts of drama, which that, by the way, apparently is due to start at the appropriate time in mid-May, which we're going to get to. And the Canadian Football League starts in May as well, late May. Um, and those seasons will run on until
their
end of
rules are
August.
very individual, aren't they?
Yes, yes.
That's without me uh, looking like I'm criticizing the Canadians, obviously, apart from them beating us at curling.
Which, listen, we've been through that. We've been through the fact that they're cheaters, and that's all they'll be remembered for. The gold medal realistically remains in the United Kingdom. Um, so, well, because they're cheaters, so they don't really deserve it. We'll get onto that in a sec, though. But like the Canadian Football League, right? If we want to get into this for a sec, the NFL is what the NFL is. College football is what college football is, right? There's no saying they're the two biggest forms of football on the planet. Nothing really comes close to either of those things.
No.
What I find is for spring football, because it's nowhere near the heights of NFL and college football and things like that, you have to find your own place within. You have to make it something that obviously the Canadians are more invested in it naturally, but like the UFL, you have to be football, but you also have to be unique because you have to bring some people in. Because if what you've got is the same NFL product, except it's players who got rejected from the NFL and couldn't quite make it in the NFL, you've just got the same product except worse, right?
Mm.
It's like asking someone from where like anywhere really to go watch El Clasico on Saturday night and then go
Yeah.
watch Stockport County versus Older Athletic the next day. Like you're not gonna watch. You just watched El Clasico, right? You just watched the height of the sport at its
Yeah.
best.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I get it.
Um, the purists, like for the purists, fine, and I get there are people out there that would rather watch Stockport County versus
I'm a
like
Plymouth
Oldham
fan,
Athletic.
and Stockport are in our league.
But like, you've got to have a specific investment in what's going on,
Yeah. Yeah.
or you've got to be some form of a purist to want to appreciate the game in its rawest form and all that. So otherwise you have to be something that's entertaining, something that's different. So one of the things about the UFL is you get to see players who could be playing in the NFL next year. There's a lot of UFL players in the NFL at the moment who've been given the opportunity to showcase themselves, made the way forward. Um,
Yeah.
and
We
you've
got
also
Schmidt
yeah,
as,
well,
as a kicker.
Jake Bates as well, for the Lions. And then you've also got like the thing that the transparency with officiating, the fact that they show you the audio and the video of what's going on in the command center when calls are being made. So there's that transparency.
Yeah, that is a lot different to the NFL, which
Very different.
actually, after our conversation last week with officiating, that could, be a rather interesting thing, if that makes sense.
It's been an interesting thing for a few years now. I don't think the NFL are ever going to want that kind of level of transparency. If I'm very honest with you, um,
And one of the part owners is one of my favorite people from when I was growing up.
The Rock.
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson.
Obviously, everyone loved The Rock. I stand
And
by
he
the fact
played.
that when I was my daughter's age, I had Rock bed sheets, I had Rock posters, I had Rock the Rock everything. Right,
Yeah, yeah.
everything was The Rock. Um, he just legend, absolute legend. Anyway, that's a lot of talk about non NFL football for an NFL podcast, right? Um, the point being here, though, Batch, which we were making, was there is plenty of football to get you through the off season that is coming, which includes the combine, the UFL, the draft, Brit Ball, the CFL, the ELF. There's loads of football to get you through.
And then you moving on towards the OTAs, aren't we?
Yes. And what I will say on that one is if you are a fan of the AAW network and everything that we do here, what we are starting to do is pick up things like uh, Britball, the ELF, the CFL, and love people to be part of that. So if you have particular interest in those things and you want to be part of something that's kind of building those things, please do send us a DM, AAW_network on any of the social medias, or there'll be details in there, or hit me up, Lions Guy Fletch, on any social medias because it's me you'd be talking to anyway. Hit me up, and I would love to chat to you. And there's also like potentially a form you could fill out and then be part of the network. We would love to have you. Anyway, um, the plan was this week, Batch, to talk about kind of as we hit the off season with franchise tags and all that sort of stuff. Before we get into draft, what I wanted to get into was like cap space and how certain teams are going to have to play around with the cap space and see what kind of cap casualties because it's just us. I think we're going to have something a bit different. We'll go a bit lighter. We'll go a bit easier. We'll go through some of the news pieces and then got a little game we can play at the end. See, just a bit of
All right
fun.
then.
See if we can do something a bit different. So, as far as the news goes, um, couple of pieces. What Max Crosby has purchased a minority stake in Leeds United Football Club.
Yeah, I saw that news, and he said he wanted to be around winners or something.
Yeah, so
Like,
winners recognise winners. I was like, well, if you go along that line of logic, he's not far off, given that he's the Raiders and a team that's about to get relegated.
yeah, yeah, this is true, but at the same time, they are weirdly they are part owned by the Niners,
Hmm.
and the Niners and the Raiders are not known to be allies, are
Definitely not.
they?
Definitely not. If you want to say, I genuinely recommend this, by the way, to anyone. Of these, like, college football rivalries get quite intense. Like, for example, Michigan and your shitty little school that you support.
Whoa,
Uh,
whoa, whoa, whoa!
so
The
I can't.
Ohio State.
I can't let go of the rivalry. I can't just let go of the rivalry for the sake of it. It's not the college pod. I don't have to be neutral on the. I don't have to be neutral here. It's also my network. I don't have to be neutral anyway. Anyway, so but no, the rivalries in college football are very intense. They're very well documented, things like that. The NFL, it's slightly less so, right? Some of the rivalries get a bit intense. The Eagles and the Cowboys, they get a bit intense. You know,
Brown
there's a lot of
Steelers has been known.
yeah.
Browns and the
Nothing,
team formerly known as the
nothing,
Browns.
nothing like what we get over here, where two teams who've never played each other in their history, and even if one of them's like Forest Green Rovers, where the club's vegan and green and everything under, still have to separate the fans just in case, right?
Yeah,
Over there, you can be Lions and Packers, you can be Steve. Like, it's the whole of everyone can sit next to each other and have a beer throughout the game, and people chirp, but and there's the odd fight, but nothing really
yeah.
too
I
dodgy happens.
actually found a Twitter page that would share NFL fights, and there was always Raiders were usually up there.
Yep.
Is that originating from their roots from Oakland?
Yeah, so Oakland and the Bay are notoriously very, very, very close, right? Very close, and they have a very traditional, very historic rivalry. those are the games that end in scraps. Those are the games where, you know, you've got your guys stood in the terraces going, meet us around the corner, around the back of the estate over there, and I'll do your head in, pal. Obviously, in an American accent, but it's a lot closer to Mean Street than any other rivalry, really. I've seen some of the documentaries around it, like, there were riot. Oh, I'll say riots. There was seriously dodgy games and so dodgy things happened in some of those games between those fans.
Ah, and he goes and buys part of a team owned by their rivals. That's interesting.
I was just double check on a map just how close. Yeah, yeah, they're literally just over the Golden Gate Bridge, basically. Um, to
I have.
drive, it takes 20 minutes.
Oh, really? So, talking of Mr. Crosby, there was some discourse around X that him and Mr. Brady were seen in a parking lot having a heated exchange after dinner.
Did
Uh,
Tom Brady forget? Like, did Tom Brady chew a bit too loud? Gotta be that, on it.
well, let's be honest, you wouldn't want to annoy Max Crosby because
No.
realistically, he's in the same kind of bracket as your defensive end, our defensive end. Do you know what I mean? He's in the same bracket as
Yeah.
guys you don't want to annoy.
Except, and I say this with all like, but Max Crosby and my defensive end come from roughly the same area. Both of them come from the eastern side of Michigan, right? Aiden Hutchinson is the softest and gentlest person who will sack you and hurt you, but like you feel like he'll celebrate and then go, "I'm sorry if I hurt you," because he's so nice. Miles Garrett, and anyone who knows this pod knows that there isn't a single person on this pod who dislikes Miles Garrett in any way. We all worship the ground he essentially walks on. We love him. Um, Miles Garrett is also just the nicest person. He's just the nicest person. Whereas Max,
Steelers fans would like to disagree. Something about a helmet.
well, Steelers fans can shut up. To be honest, with you. Steelers fans, there's something we can go on and agree on there. Their batch. We won't have any college football rivalry, but we'll agree. Steelers fans, you could shut up for a minute, right? Right. Miles Garrett he's too nice. He genuinely is too nice, right? And like, see the pictures of him at the Winter Olympics supporting his girlfriend, like he's just so wholesome as an
Did you hear
individual.
what he did as well? He bought her a pink car for her birthday or for a celebration.
Crazy. Um, yeah,
He's a
he's
monster.
just so nice, right? Whereas Max Crosby, you think he's like he's from basically what you would, but you kind of think kind of more of a council estate kind of guy. He'll batter you. He will.
Yeah.
If he wants to throw hands, he'll throw hands, right? If you piss him off, he'll throw hands. It's fine. He's happy with that, right? Whereas Miles Garrett and Aiden Hutchinson outside in a parking lot, they'll chat to you, they'll talk you down, they'll
Have
work
a
through
beer
it.
with you.
Yeah. Um, I won't want to get on the wrong side of Max Crosby. No,
No.
there aren't many athletes I'd want to get. I don't have the strength for me to fight anyone. To be honest, like I
Oh,
don't
you're
really
not
want
the
to
only
fight
one.
anyone anymore. Um, but yeah, so yeah, Max Crosby. Anyway, Max Crosby. Um, minority stake in Leeds, which like I say is interesting because he's owned by the 49ers Enterprises, who own San Francisco 49ers. Um, in other news, a quick one. I won't say too much on it, but Detroit Lions president Rod Wood has announced he will retire in July-ish. Um, 5 years ago, if you'd have asked me my thoughts on it, I'd have danced and celebrated. Now I'm a little bit sad, right? It's when Sheila Fordham came in.
Yep.
No, right when he got hired as the president by Martha, he was a long time friend of the Ford family and said, I'm not qualified to have this job anywhere else other than Detroit. And he was quite open about the fact that that's not because Detroit is so close to him, it's because he knows nothing about football. He's not a football guy, right? A president. of a football. Like, you don't have to have a football guy in charge of as president of a football franchise, right? That's get the job role doesn't need it. It's
Right.
helpful,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
but you don't need it because you're a businessman. You got to be a shrewd businessman. You're taking care of the business, right? But Martha, in all of her um, loveliness, didn't put a true football guy in between him and the football.
Oh,
So he was being part of football decisions when he's not a football guy. When Sheila took over from her mum, she put like Chris Spielman, Barry Sanders. She put a couple of football guys in the way, right, in between him and the football. So these were guys who knew how to deal with the football stuff and knew how to go to the business guy and say, right, here's the business stuff that you need to know about the football. And he's done a fantastic job. Like the draft that was in Detroit was incredible.
yeah.
A large part thanks to him. They've got new facilities on the way. The Ford Field has had its biggest renovation job under him. Like, he's done some great things business wise.
Yeah,
Um,
I get
so
that.
that's all I would say. Is like, so congratulations on your retirement, Rod. Enjoy it. I know you're a big time fan of Hurdle the Line. Um, obviously listens to it every week. So, but yeah, that's all I want to say on that one. The Bears have announced that they plan to build their new stadium in Hammond, Indiana.
Which, yes, that is um different because they're no longer in Chicago directly, but at the same time, it's not exactly like they're rerouting far. And let's be honest, um, Washington don't play in
Nope.
Washington. Um, there are there are one or two other. Oh, um the Cowboys don't play in Dallas,
Nope.
so it's not as big as people are making out because they're actually like what, a 20-minute drive, but also they're not the only ones who are looking to move very slightly. For instance, the Chiefs are moving a 20-minute
Yep.
drive or something away,
They're moving
but
across state borders officially.
at the same time, it's still not overly far. Yes, okay. Like for me as a British football fan, if Plymouth, my team, were playing across the river in Cornwall, I would be raging. And yes, that's
Yep.
only a 20-minute drive. So I can see one half and I can see the other. But at the same time, I also know from what I've read up, a lot of it is all about the tax breaks that they are, yeah, they are willing to offer tax breaks.
I mean, between that and what I've seen from numerous sources, and again, like, I'm not saying any of this is true. I'm just saying this is the bit that I've read. It was like the Bears were willing to fund the stadium, but they asked the city of Chicago to fund the infrastructure around it, like the improvements to the roads and all that sort of stuff, which would generally come under that. That's what the state should do. That's what the city should do. They build the infrastructure, and the city was like, "Nah, you're gonna do that," and they were like, "No, we're not." And you say tax breaks as well. That's absolutely a part of it. I thought it was really cool though, right? So with all this, I thought I'm gonna double check something, right? And you've already alluded to it already, to be fair, um, yeah, Batch. But Hammond, Indiana, is part of the Chicago metropolitan area, right? It comes officially under Chicago. Now it's a bit like saying the very tail end, like, for this is like, no American who listens to this is gonna get what I'm saying. The tail end of Stockport, that's basically Chester,
Yeah.
right? Or the tail end of, like, where my daughter lives in, like, Limway, which is kind of Greater Manchester, kind of Oxford, which kind of Greater Manchester, but also they want to be Cheshire. It's like saying it's like there, or calling Bolton Manchester. geographic, like, if you take it on a literal sense of what officially it is, yes, Bolton is Greater Manchester. Or the tail end of Stockport is Greater Manchester, but it's not really. But it is. But it's not really. But it is.
Yeah. Well, it's like my background here, Brook Park, is being moved out of Cleveland city centre and it is going up by the airport, which is within still Ohio and Cleveland city limits. But a lot of people are not happy that it's going away from the seafront
Yeah. Um.
or
Absolutely.
riverfront.
And I'm trying to find the actual. I've done too much messing around with notepads this week. Is this the one? That won't be the one. Is Yeah, I've done too much messing around with paper and notepads. Oh no, this will be the one. Oh, it's not. Right. We're going off vibes, I think, for this point that I'm going to make. Match. We're going off pure vibes. Um, no, we're not. We're not. I found it. Found the right notepad. You failed to mention. Well, you didn't fail to mention. You mentioned Dallas playing Arlington, right?
Yep.
The Niners play in Santa Clara, which is still technically San Francisco. It's the Bay Area, San Francisco, but it's still quite far out of San Francisco. The main part of San Francisco. You mentioned Arizona. You mentioned all like loads of different teams play basically just outside. There are very few teams that play genuinely in the city that they represent. Like Green Bay are very much in Green Bay. Detroit are very much in Detroit. Um, you've got teams like the Carolina Panthers, the New England Patriots, the Arizona Cardinals, I guess as well. The Minnesota Vikings. They're named after states or regions rather than cities. But I wanted to put this to you, right? With the kickoff over it, a lot more people seem to have an issue with MetLife and the New York Jets and Giants being called New York, and this is a constant thing.
Yep. Because they're
As
in
the
New
crow,
Jersey.
as the crow flies. Now I can't get. I can get Soldier Field to Hammond. I can't get Soldier Field to the exact limit on where the stadium is going to exactly be, but it's within the area of Hammond. As the crow flies is 20.122 miles away. Right, 20
Yep.
miles. MetLife Stadium is 7.7 miles from Lower Manhattan. 7.7 miles from Lower Manhattan, right?
Yep.
That's nearly
I've
a third, that's just over a third of the distance that Soldier Field is to like Chicago is to. And more people have an issue with the Jets than and Giants being called New York, right?
admittedly that does cross. Yeah. Yeah. I was going to
It's
say it does cross into a different state, but so does
so
the.
does that. So say it goes into
Yeah.
Illinois. So like it's still an inner ring suburb of New York City, East Rutherford. And Levi Stadium, just for reference, is 35.8 miles away from the center of San Francisco.
Ah. See, the reason I knew about MetLife, by the way, is because a couple of years ago I visited on a because I'm Navy,
Yeah,
so we visited on our ship and went and watched a game. So I found out how far it was from Manhattan because we were
yeah,
birthed in Manhattan, and then we got a bus over to MetLife
yeah.
to watch the Bungles versus the Jets.
God, that must have been horrible for you.
Oh yeah, massively. But Smoking Joe was playing for the Jets.
Not too
The only
bad.
problem is he was actually booed quite heavily by Jets.
Okay,
But
fair enough.
we both know Jets and quarterbacks are like us and quarterbacks.
Yeah, there's a joke there somewhere that I can't say. But just the last like little tidbit I guess on it was the city of Illinois, the state of Illinois had a vote on the stadium as well, and it was unanimous 24-0 to allow the Bears the site in Hammond.
Yeah,
But I do believe there's one other thing. There was like someone was talking if they like New England. No, New England. It was the Patriots when they had
yeah,
Foxborough. Before they had Foxborough, they Robert Kraft threatened everyone, and they had a deal signed with Connecticut to put the new stadium in Connecticut, and then Foxborough come through with and Boston come through like with the deal
yes,
to say,
yeah.
here you
I
go, here's what you want.
From what I read, Mr. Kraft bought the lease and prevented them moving away because he owned the lease, which
Yeah,
was actually quite clever. And now look at him, he's he's the single most losing team in the what's it called? In the Super Bowl era.
yeah,
But at the same time, he had Tom Brady, and it's horrible to think how good they were back then.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, right, well, we're not gonna dwell on that too much. We're gonna move on to another piece of news. The Seahawks have commenced formal sales process following Super Bowl 60. We knew it was coming. It was about time.
Yeah, yeah. They're let's be honest. Why not sell when your stock is as high as possible?
How many
Um,
zeros do you reckon, or how many numbers do you think that Super Bowl beating current
oh
Super
yeah,
Bowl champions has added?
oh a lot. From what I read, there is rumors they're going to be the most expensive team to ever be sold.
Yeah. Oh yeah, gotta be, got to be, got to be.
Oh
Just
yeah,
with the rate, the way money is these days, they've got to be. Um,
and let's be honest, they're actually not a massively dislikable side either.
no, they're not. I know quite a few Seahawks fans, and I don't have a single problem with any of them. I think they all seem to be really like, the 12th man. The fact that they've retired the jersey number 12 for the fact like they seem like a very, very, very likable bunch every time I meet one of them.
And they had the Legion of Boom, and
They did.
now in 2 years they've managed to build up another Super Bowl winning franchise.
It's crazy to think about.
Because
And they've got it Adam Dirty.
oh yeah, the
Oh,
the only British coordinator.
yes. In the NFL, there's a couple in college football, including I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but for the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh, um, in D3, his offensive coordinator is English, um,
Oh,
which I thought was really funny. He started his career at the University of Aberystwyth in Uniborn.
Aberystwyth. Ollie would be happy with that.
He would. Um, anyway, the other piece of news I've got is Javonte Williams has signed a 3-year contract extension with the Cowboys worth $24 million, 16 guaranteed. Decent deal that. He had some really good production this year. Started to turn into
Deserved
what
it.
people thought he
Kind
was
of
going to be.
breakout. Kind of breakout. Deserved it. The only problem is because it's Jerry, and we know what Jerry's like. That means that the next piece of news that will be coming out about the Cowboys, we discussed it off air, is they'll franchise George Pickens
Yeah.
because that way they don't have to pay him like they would pay one of the other big guys, which
Yeah.
is
I can't.
everyone knows Jerry doesn't pay premium guys all the time.
What? What? That's
Well,
crazy. No, I don't believe you. Um, he also just yeah, we've harped on to so much about Jerry Jones, man. Like, I wouldn't surprise me if if he'd have traded Javonte Williams and said, do you know what we could get with the money we've just saved with getting rid of that running back? We could get a running back. We
look
could get a
at
running back with that money we've saved by cutting our running back.
Well, look at last year when they got rid of um oh, uh, what's he called? Packers' new defenseman,
Michael Parsons.
Micah Parsons. I say new, but once they got rid of Micah, they were like, Jerry was like, "Yeah, I don't negotiate with his agent. I don't even know his name." And you're like, "Yes, quite unprofessional, really."
What? Jerry Jones unprofessional? He's a modicum of professionalism. Um,
I I love the
like
fact
what?
throughout the season when the sun was shining for a particular window on game day,
That was a
no
couple
one
of
could.
yeah. That was a little while because it wasn't this season just gone. To be fair, it was the season before. It happened, I think, while they were playing the Lions. I'm almost certain it's while they were
Uh,
playing the Lions because I remember it quite clearly. And obviously, but because I remember that off season was when Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul.
oh
And
yeah,
all the
yeah.
memes were you could afford curtains for that get for the fight, couldn't you? You could afford curtains for that, couldn't you? Um, and but it just what's the Jerry Jones this year was a gift that kept on giving, right? Because he had the whole trade Micah Parsons, call him Michael,
Oh, that was again. I thought that was quite pathetic, really, that he would do that.
but
It felt like on
before
purpose.
before they traded him, he said, "Oh, to the fans, don't lose sleep on it. It's just part of it's just part of the tactics. It's just what we do." And then they traded him anyway. Um, and then he had that thing where he was at the Commanders game, wanted during the season, and they stuck his middle finger up to a load of the fans. And then when he got fined by the NFL, he went, "Oh, sorry, I thought I did a thumbs up." Because if you're on video and you don't like swearing, look away for 3 seconds. But because that and that so close, right? I get them mixed up all the time, right? In emoji form.
My children get mixed up.
Oh, my child is not at the point yet of getting them mixed up, but I will believe that one day she will get them accidentally mixed up, and we'll just have to deal with it, right? Because it's an accident; it happens all the time.
I've got a
Um,
bit of breaking NFL news. Just
we've got some breaking news.
the Chiefs are releasing Mike Danner, defensive end, two-time Super Bowl winner.
Bloody hell!
I
Would have
don't know much about him, if I'm honest.
would have been good to have Tom on to have kind of
Yeah,
gone through that one. Um, Speaking of releases,
yep,
we'll go on to, as you've mentioned, franchise tags. You've mentioned George Pickens, he's been franchise tagged.
yep.
Kyle Pitts has been franchise tagged. Has anyone else?
As far as I'm aware, they're the only two. They're the only
Um,
two that I know of. But
franchise, franchise tag tracker. Hold on. So far, we'll have we'll have a little conversation. It would be nice if I could get rid of this bloody pop up on the NBC website. The Winter Olympics is done, my friends. Um, we've got no, yeah. So it's just so far. It looks like it's just Kyle Pitts and George Pickens.
yep,
That's about it. Um, the franchise tag window. I'll run through this with you by the way. So with the franchise tag, the rules are you have to pay the player their average over the last 5 years, or the average salary of the top five players at that position. And it's something along those, whichever one's the biggest number. Um, Franchise tag figures are where the hell is that bit gone?
Because obviously there is a couple of different franchise tags, aren't there?
Yeah.
There's a non-exclusive tag, exclusive, transition.
Um, right. So franchise and transition tenders are calculated by adding the respective tag numbers divided by the sum of the calorie
The calorie sack.
salary caps from the previous 5 seasons, finally multiplied by the current season's salary cap. Franchise tag players are based upon having the top 5 salaries at each position, while transition tag figures are based on the top 10.
Ah, but they've haven't they? If you get a transition tagged, you get like a certain window to. Once a player is tagged, two sides have until July 15th to sign a
Yeah,
long-term contract, or the player will play on a one-year deal or hold out.
yeah. Um, and the
Which
value,
I could see George Pickens holding out. He's
just
not known for his patience. Loves
so
fighting a corner.
just for reference, by the way, according to NBC, who use Spoltrack's estimations, quarterback, if you are franchise tagged as a quarterback, you'd be earning 47,242,000. As a running back, be 14,001,000. Wide receiver, 28 million. Tight end, 16 million. Offensive lineman, 27,760 million.
27.
Sorry, 27,764,000.
Right, I was going to say.
Linebacker, 27,600,000. Defensive tackle, 27,420,000. Defensive end is 26,700,000. Cornerback, 20,780,000. Safety, 20,760,000. And punter, 6.8 million.
It's a lot of money still, don't get me wrong. But a punter, yeah, I've been franchise tagged for 6 million. Oh, I'm a defensive lineman. I've just been franchise tagged for 27 million. That's a bit of a figure difference. Don't get me wrong, a punter doesn't do half of what a defensive lineman does.
Yeah, we know what they are. What the salaries of a punter and a kicker are. They are not the most handsomely paid of all of the positions. Um, didn't surprise me that running back and tight end are as low as they are.
Yeah, a lot of the NFL do undervalue running backs. Tight ends, tight ends. I'm lucky being a Browns fan. We signed a great tight end through the draft, and
Harold
previously
Fanning.
Harold Fanning Jr. And then previously we had the Chief and Njoku, who has announced he is leaving Cleveland now, which is a shame. So is
I was
Wyatt
liking
Teller.
Joku.
Yeah,
I was liking Joku. I always get him in fantasy football, and he always does decent for me.
yeah,
Always
he
done
wasn't
decent.
really targeted last year though.
Yeah,
Though
Harold Fanning.
though I saw him score a
You
touchdown
did.
at the Tottenham Stadium.
You did. Um, but quick question, just on a couple, are there any players you think should be franchise tagged this off season?
Um,
Let's look at any
if
players are out of contract.
yeah, Seahawks running back, I think he deserves it. What's his name?
Kenneth Walker.
Yes, Kenneth Walker.
He should get a deal. He shouldn't be franchise tagged. He should have a deal. He should have a
Yeah,
very good deal. Um, Obviously, well, another thing in there, by the way, actually, a piece of news I forgot because the next piece of news is kind of the end of the news. Tyreek Hill was cut from the Dolphins. Not surprised at that one. It saves him 30 odd million, nearly 32, 33 years old, coming off a season and it best to
I've
cut your
seen
losses now.
Ollie. I think me and Ollie are in the same thing, but we've seen Browns like, would you take a chance on Tyreek Hill? No. He's 32 years old. He's not known for his off the hip, off the field good behavior, if you
No,
know
he's
what I
not.
mean. Um, Also, he's probably got more children than a lot of people have had hot meals.
That's very true.
Um,
Hmm.
and I actually, once he did get cut, remember the police officer where they said undo your window and they arrested him before a game.
Yeah.
He actually released a statement and basically said, "Karma's got you. Should have just wound down your window."
Yeah. And look, at the end of the day, I don't want to harp on this for you, right? It's not a good place, not a good thing to do, really. But you
Chiefs,
also have another player on your roster that is known for their off-field antics. You can't afford to have another one. You
no, I
can't.
completely agree. I completely
Um,
agree. But unfortunately, because of the contract situation of that said player, there is a chance that we might see him on the field if he can impress Todd Monken.
I feel that's Shadar's place to lose. That's Shadar's place to lose.
I'm with you, but there are also others that are like Shador's QBR says he wasn't actually that good.
Yeah, to be fair, right? Look. All I'll say on Shadar Sanders is like you could say Shadar Sanders is called Shadar Sanders, and people will disagree with you on it because they will disagree on it. Something about Shadar. He will split opinion on whether the sky is the sky, right? I don't trust what most people say about Shadar Sanders. I don't.
He
Um,
also, to be fair, financially, the Browns are going to be looking at this as well. It was one of the highest selling merchandise shirts of last season,
yeah,
and
but
you look at that and think, "Oh, he's making us money, so we will
business
pay
is
him."
gone to business.
Yeah, yeah, very much so. By the way, I was just been looking through free agents, going back to that.
Go on.
Um, a franchise tag. Well, he's actually been rumored to be in talks, but Daniel Jones could be franchise tagged because he's coming
That
back
would
from
be
a
smart.
serious injury.
That would be if you are the Colts, right? Because if you're franchising Daniel Jones, you're putting him on 47 million, right? If I'm Daniel Jones, I'm sat there like, yeah, franchise tag me, go for it. Go for
Yeah,
it. Like as good as he's been, still, I don't think he's $47 million worth of quarterback yet. I'm
no,
like, yeah, go on, pay me 47 million, go on.
but did you notice how once he did get injured, their whole season collapsed?
Oh yeah, 100%. But then like the next option was Riley Leonard.
Or Old Man Rivers.
Yeah, all right. That's the position you put yourself in, right? That's where you are.
They
Is
did go all in for him, didn't they? Because because um,
and Daniel
they
Jones
got,
was very high perform. He was genuinely very good.
but they also they got made that trade with the Jets, didn't they? And gave up a couple first rounders because they went all in on Daniel Jones being good.
Worst trade of the year. Worst trade of the year. He
Really?
won one game. But I think that this is the funniest thing, right? By the way, he was like 1-7, 1-8 with the Jets, and the Colts were like 8-1, 8-2. They flip. Now the Jets didn't do much better. Right? The Jets obviously did not go and finish the season 6-1,
Zero interceptions in a whole season.
but the Jets won the game after, and the
Yeah,
Colts won one game after. Right, so two first round. They Sauce Gardner won as many games this year as first round picks were given up for him. That's a
that is
crazy stat.
absolutely crazy.
Crazy stat, right? So I'll throw a couple of names out here though. Well, what do you reckon? Trey Hendrickson.
I know Bengals fans that said he's not been great last season. I
He
wouldn't
wasn't
franchise tag him.
elite. He wasn't the Trey Hendrickson that you would expect. And he turns 32 in December, so he's 31 going into this year. Be 31 going into the season.
You're going to have to pay if you want him.
You're gonna have to pay if you want him, but to be fair to to be fair to the Bengals, he's not come off his best year, and he'll be 32 next at the end of the year. You're gonna have to turn around at some point and say like, look, you are on the decline now.
Yeah,
You are on the way down. You have to be smart with
he's
what you pay.
reached the top of that coaster.
Someone will pay for him.
Yeah,
Good money. He's still worth good money. But um, what do you reckon? Some of the I'll throw out some more names as well. By the way, right? Mike Evans,
Mike Evans. If I was Bucks, I would franchise him or give him a reasonable, not an amazing deal,
reasonable
a
deal.
reasonable deal because he's proved his worth for them. He's just had a bad season because he was injured half of it.
Yeah. Um, but
He
you think
still can do it.
the franchise tag for him's worth 28 million. His previous average annual value was 20 million.
Yeah,
And is where it's like you're paying near 10 near 8 so million more. I wouldn't do it. But
no,
I don't think Mike Evans is the type either. I think Mike Evans will I think if he wants to stay with the Bucks and he'll take a good deal with it,
yeah,
he'll get
he
paid.
seems to like the Bucks and he likes Baker. Because let's be honest, end of not this season just gone, but last season, Baker was making sure he was getting his incentives, getting him over that 1,000 yards.
I love when NFL players do that for each other.
I think it's class.
I do. I
But I
love
have
like
heard stories of certain franchises actually come out this week where players didn't hit incentives, but they give it as signing bonuses because like players come back to form or they got injured.
yeah.
I think it was Sterling Shepherd, it might have been.
I like it, but I feel dead funny. Like week 18, game's dead. You're 90 points behind in a game. You're 90 points ahead in a game, right? And you're still launching it up to your wide receiver four because if he gets 250 yards on the season, he gets an extra tenner. Like, just do it. It brings out some of the weirdest and wildest plays or some of the what are you doing kind of moments in terms of
Yeah,
game management where you're just like, oh, no, someone's got an incentive, right? Someone's got an incentive. You do it.
I
It's
do love
fourth
week
and 10.
18 incentives. They are great.
It's fourth and 10. Your running back two needs 500 yards on the season. So on fourth and 10, you run it because why not? Let's go get him them extra 4 or 5 yards if we can.
Yeah,
Um, couple more names I'll just throw out real quick. Christian Kirk is a name, but also is it Nico Collins isn't up this year, is he? He's not.
shouldn't be. No. Alec Pierce.
Alec Pierce is an interesting one. Um,
To be honest, if he hits free agency, he's the type of wide receiver I wouldn't mind on the Browns. I'm not saying he's game changing, but let's be honest, our wide receiving core is not exactly Firelighters at the moment.
Yeah. I'll say this by the way on franchise tags, right? And I've noticed this trend over the last few years, right? Most of the time, franchise tagging is cool, right? It's this cool little thing where you can see who does it. Only a few teams do it every year. It 32 teams will not franchise tag someone because
No,
they good franchises, right? Well-run franchises don't have players worth that amount of money coming out of contract this year.
I'll give you an example of a franchisee tag from last year, I believe. T. Higgins. The Bengals don't like to kick the can down the road, though, do they? They like to work within the cap and just pay, what's meant to be paid. Whereas people like the Browns and other teams, we discussed it last week, like to kick the can down the road. So we'll give more signing bonus so it converts to less dead
Yeah.
money in the future or something.
And other
Whereas,
franchises get deals done early.
yes,
You're really good franchises most of the time. Like, it's not going to happen every time, but most of your franchises, they get deals done early. They get deals done on time. Like, the player that would be coming out of contracts in 2026, that was done early in 2025, that deal.
which is
But
why I'm not surprised Dallas has done it with George because when they traded for him, they knew how long his contract had left.
yeah. And if you are not going to get a deal done with a player,
No.
right? In fact, I'll say here, I'm a GM, Batch, you and you are a great wide receiver, but and your contract's due up in a year, right?
Yep.
It's your contract's due up for 2027. And I'm thinking, and we'll sit at the table. I'll say, right, this is what I'm offering you, Batch. These are your signing bonuses. These are your incentives. This is your guaranteed. You might come back. We'll throw some pieces of paper around. My agent will talk to you. I'll talk to your agent. Your agent will talk to me. We get to a point where it's like we're not going to get it done, right? And because I want to get this deal done now because if it's February, March, April, I want to get it done before the next wide receiver gets paid in June
Well,
because your
we
number goes up.
we did it cleverly with Miles because
Yeah.
we paid Miles a tidy sum of money, and then Micah got paid, and um, what's it called? Your defensive end. He signed a big deal last year, didn't he?
Hutch.
Hutch.
Yeah.
Aiden signed a quite a big deal last year, which was more than Miles was earning.
Yeah. Well, Amon-Ra St. Brown took a deal. Well, when he had his deal,
Yeah.
he was one of the top two, at least top two or three at the time, right? Because it was the average 30 million a year. But they got it done in like February, March, which meant what the Lions did was they screwed the Vikings when they were going to do the deal with Jefferson. Because now Jefferson wants more money because he's better than Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jamar Chase then wants more money. CD Lamb wants more. Like, all these
Oh
players
yeah,
want
it's
all this
massive
much more
domino
money.
effect.
Um,
And
so
this
you
is
get
why our contract with Mr. Off the Field Issues was hated by 31 other owners because we guaranteed him every penny. And it was hated because a lot more quarterbacks started demanding more guaranteed,
yeah,
didn't they?
yeah. Oh yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like we get the deal. I want to get the deal done in February, March because even if we spend the next couple of months going back and we're going to get a deal done before the start of the season, I want it done before the next wide receiver gets paid because your number goes up because you say, oh well, Tom has just signed this deal, so and I'm better than Tom as a wide receiver, so I want more money than him.
Yeah.
but also like you've got that in account, but also you don't want this to come to fruition next year where the league season's about to end and I might need to franchise tag you and whatnot. So like I'm gonna say to you in we don't get it done by I can have my right, but plus I have my number, right? I'm not going above X million dollars.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
No, no.
So it comes to July, comes to August, and we're like we just can't get it done. You want more than X dollars. I want less X dollars or less. So I say to you, right, okay then, you're getting traded.
Yeah.
And you get traded. So I at least get some sort of compensation for you. And guess what? We're not arguing now next year. You're arguing with your next team. Or maybe the next team's willing to pay you what you wanted, right? So these good franchises don't have these problems nearly as much because they've either got the deals done early or when they realise this deal isn't going to happen, they've traded you. Every franchise will have a load of free agents hitting, right? Every franchise will have 10, 20, whatever free agents hitting the market. Most of them are your backups, your second stringers, your third stringers, your practice squad players. They'll get brought back because or they'll go get passed around the league or whatever. But your big players on the big money, your some starters may go, but they're not the ones you're expecting to earn the upper echelon, the top five of their position.
Yeah.
They're not the ones.
No, they get paid early.
They get paid early. Yeah. So if you're in that position of franchise tag, the only other option there is you're an organization like the Bengals. You're a badly run organization like the Bengals, for example, who won't let the player go. They're doing everything they can to keep that player in house
Yep.
or the Cowboys because they're doing everything they can to keep because they don't want to let go of the player, but they also don't want to come to the deal with the player. That's why it's like badly run organizations need the franchise tag. Well run organizations don't need to use it.
No, no, I completely agree.
So, um,
With Kyle Pitts, though, it's a big thing because last season was his
well, yeah,
first season of breaking out, really.
yeah, and there will be a point where like it's not a rule that it's only bad franchises. There are exceptions to the rule, and Kyle Pitts does fit that exception to the rule. It's a we just don't know how to evaluate you at the moment. We just don't
No,
have a We can't put a number on it, and yeah, it's a crazy one, right? So there are
and
so Chapman, please don't shoot me. I just leave me alone. I'm not putting Falcons
Stefanski
down.
likes a tight end.
Yep. That's charity. I'm not taking that. But that's it on the front. So the only other piece of news that I've got, and oh, it's a horrible segue into it, and there's no way to segue into it. There's no way to segue out of it. We may as well just say it. On Saturday, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Rondale Moore was found dead in his home in a garage um in Indiana,
25 years old.
25 years old.
That is
Um
absolutely shocking. And it
it,
shows people struggle and they need to reach out if they need
yeah.
help.
Not to speculate, obviously we try our best. We don't speculate. We're not going round, we're not speculating, we're not nothing. But the report that's come out has said it was a self-inflicted. It to the best of their knowledge, it is a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. There's still an investigation ongoing, so like I say, we're not going to make any comment on whether that is or isn't true. But if we go with the current report, all that really needs to be said, and I'm not going to harp on about it. We're not going to carry this conversation on, but
No,
it's the thoughts of everyone at the AAW are with his family, his friends, his
yeah.
teammates, his coaches, everyone who knew him, and multiple teammates, colleagues from around the league who spoke to him have come out, just shared the
Yeah,
moment
one person, I can't remember who it was,
of
said he was texting him earlier
Hollywood
that
Brown.
day. Yeah, Hollywood Brown. because they were
And
teammates on the cards.
yep, um, they
It
yeah
was
they were
horrible.
talking that day, and he shared some of the stuff that they were talking, shared some of those conversations. Um, it's utterly heartbreaking, man. There is no other word for it other than heartbreaking. Like I said, the thoughts of everyone at the network goes to his friends and family, and like you said, and you made a very important point there. It's mental health matters, man. Like it
Don't
matters
suffer
so
in
much.
silence.
Don't suffer in silence, and like we are men, women, whatever. It's not about being like men's mental health, women's mental health, but there is the stigma around men's mental health. And look, I've planned to do it anyway, but I'm gonna put the number for the Samaritans in the description of the episode, and for our US followers, there is a number that you can text and call. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Things like 988 or 998, something along those lines. I'll put it in the description of the episode. These things are there to help you if you are in a crisis. Um, please use them. Please reach out to friends. Please reach out to family and know that you are not alone. Um, your mental health is the best kind of health that you can have. There are other health will come and go, but your mental health is the one that you need the most. Um, so yeah, I'm just gonna kind of leave it at that. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
and to end on a slightly less somber note, that's kind of it for our news. And just because it was just you and me today, Batch, I thought we'd do something a little bit fun, a little bit different. Um, to end the episode, and everyone knows by now, I'm quite fond of a bit of trivia. I'm quite fond of a little quiz. Um, so you and I are gonna we're gonna do a little quiz together. If you are on YouTube, you will now be able to see I've sharing my screen. If you are on audio only, we're gonna do what's called the touchdown catch leaders by an NFL team. So we've got 5 minutes to get all 32 teams listed as all 32 teams, obviously, how many touchdowns the player scored, what years they were with that franchise, and the position that they were. We've got to guess the players for all 32 teams. All these players are sorry, the all-time touchdown leaders, receiving touchdown leaders for that franchise. You'll figure it out. I'm probably butchering the explanation, right? So as soon as I click on this button, batch,
Yeah.
timer will start because I did
Okay.
another one of these quizzes just to test out what the timer was like. I know as soon as I click it, the timer will start, so I'm not going to click it just yet. Are there any on these that stand out to you for any franchise that you want to lead with? We've got 5 minutes from the time I click.
Baltimore.
Baltimore. So we've got Baltimore, 56 touchdowns, 2018 to present, tight end.
Oh, it's got to be Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, there we go. The time has started. I can say straight up for Detroit, 83 touchdowns, 2007 to 15, wide receiver. That is Megatron. Um, oh, we've got a couple there because, if you put Johnson in, it'll tell you everyone that's got the name Johnson. So we've got the Bengals, that was Chad Johnson, and we've got
Yep.
the Texans, that's Andre Johnson, 64 touchdowns, 2003 to 14. Um, and Chad Johnson was
Uh,
2001 to 10. Um,
New England.
New England, yeah.
Surely. High end that was there for 8 years. Surely that's the Gronk. Rob Gronkowski.
Ron Gronkowski, yes, it was. Um, Obviously, we're going to try and primarily look for some more recent ones. Um, they're going to be the best ones for us. Uh, Tampa Bay wide receiver 2014 to 2025. That'll be Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Um,
By chance, no. I was
that
thinking Cleveland could have been. Um,
three
what's his name?
3 minutes 30. I've got an answer where while you think of his name. Kansas City Chiefs. That is Travis Kelce, tight end, 82 touchdowns. 2013 to 2025.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jim Brown, but it says that he was a wide receiver. We'll give it a go though.
Nope, not Jim Brown. Um, the Colts from 96 to 2008. Is that Marvin Harrison?
Yeah,
Um, there we go.
MHJ's dad.
128. Yes. Um, Arizona Cardinals, 2004 to 2020. That's got to be the Hall of Famer, whose name I've just
Larry
butchered,
Fitzgerald,
Larry Fitzgerald.
a
Um,
class player. That
Chargers,
Chargers one,
2003 to 18. I feel like I should
15
know
year
this one.
tight end.
Feel like I should know this one.
Uh, uh, uh,
Um, the Jags is 95 to 2005. I doubt we're gonna. We've got 2 minutes left, and we've got 10 out of 32 here. Um,
uh,
and we're gonna be annoyed when I think when we see some of the answers to this as well.
yeah,
Um,
probably.
oh my God. Broncos 95 to 2006. No, it won't be him. Uh, Bears 1940 to 50. Of course it is.
uh,
Even the Vikings
wouldn't be that.
95.
They've got the three letter. No, that was a coach, wasn't it?
Mm,
You know who I mean, don't you? They've got the three letters on their arm, but that was a coach, I think.
yeah, it Hallis,
Yeah, Hallis.
George Hallis. Um,
Uh,
well, we're doing badly. We've got less than a minute.
yeah, really badly. But a lot of
Um,
these are from uh, before my fandom.
I also think I should know I know the Chargers one, and I can't get the name to me, front of my head. Um, and it's gonna really, really annoy me when I if it shows us the answers at the end. Um, Eagles is like the 70s. Like it's not my time. A lot of these are before our time. Um,
Hmm.
oh, I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. This is not good.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be NFL experts here.
um,
Um,
why is the name
what?
Gates ringing through my head?
Right. So the ones we didn't
Oh,
get,
Gates. That
I
Chargers one was Gates.
fuming with the Chargers one. Told you I knew it. Antonio Gates. We didn't get Roddy White for Atlanta. Sorry, Chapman. You would have been able to help. Steve Smith. See, I'm fuming that we didn't get Steve Smith Senior. That was my fault. Um, this has overall been a. How did we not get Jerry Rice?
Oh my
How
God.
did we not get Jerry Rice? I am like, I apologize to everybody who's still listening to this. I can only apologize. And if you
What about
never
Miss?
listen to this podcast again, I
I was going to
understand.
say, what about Mrs. Fletcher's New Orleans? You didn't get that. And he only retired in 2015, it said.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Oh,
have got that. We can try one more, see if we do any better. Um, longest tenured player for a franchise. I reckon we could do the every NFL quarterback with a franchise record for passing yards in a season.
you reckon?
I reckon we could do that one. Come on, we need a win. We need a real win. We need a real win, right? You ready?
Green Bay has got to be Brett Favre.
No, but it'll be Rodgers.
Rogers, yep. They've only had about
Um,
four quarterbacks.
Lions, that'll be Stafford. And he's got
Kos-
Stafford for the Rams.
Kosar maybe for Cleveland.
Cleveland, who was that, sorry?
Kosar, Kosar.
Nope.
Nope.
Uh, Arizona 2015. I'll come back to that. Atlanta, that's Matt Ryan. Um, the Ravens 2016.
Ravens 2016. Joe Flacco.
Flacco. Yes. Yeah. The Buffalo Bills 2020. Come on, that's too easy. The Carolina Panthers 1999.
RG3? No.
RG3 was like, he was drafted what, early, like 2011, 2012?
Oh, Jesus.
And he was the command, well, what's now the Commanders, wasn't it?
Chicago has got to be
Caleb
um,
Williams, that's
Caleb.
2025.
Cincinnati has got to be Joe.
What row? Cleveland Browns 1980.
That's before I was even born, so it's very difficult for that.
Cowboys 2012. That'll be Romo. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, Denver
Denver.
2013. That's Peyton Manning. Oh, we've got Eli Manning there as well now. That's for the New
Oh,
York
yeah, yeah.
Giants.
Houston
Houston
2020.
2020. Oh, they're gonna. You know who was what
It's
the guy
Deshaun,
who
isn't it?
yeah, that season earned him a lot of guaranteed money, which we've spoken about.
Yep.
Um,
Indianapolis Colts.
Colts in 2014. That's Andrew Luck. The
Yep.
Jags in
Jacksonville
2015.
Jags.
I know who that is. Have you ever watched The Good Place?
No.
Oh, you
Movie
wouldn't know.
or
It's a series. You wouldn't know the Bortles. Um, Chiefs
oh Blake? I've heard
2022.
of Blake Bortles. Chiefs 22 would have been surely Patrick.
Oh,
Yeah.
who else would that be? Who else would that be? LA Chargers 2021. That'll be Herbert.
He's been
Raiders
there that long.
2021. Derek
Who?
Carr.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Uh,
Miami 1984.
Marino.
Uh yeah, just Dan Marino.
Vikings
Vikings 04.
2004.
New England's gonna be obvious.
Yeah, Tom Brady. New Orleans Saints. That'll be Breeze. You set almost every record. The
Oh,
Jets in
Jets in 67.
1967. Mr. Namath himself.
Yeah.
The Eagles
Eagles in
2019.
19. Who was before
Well, it was
Jalen?
between Nick Foles and Carson Wentz. Was it Wentz? Wentz.
Yep.
Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh
2018.
2018. That would have been Big Ben. Roethlisberger.
There we go.
One of the best
Seahawks
pictures I've ever seen.
2020. Seahawks 2024. That was Gino.
Yep.
Niners
2023.
2023.
That would have been. Yep.
Herder. Titans 20.
And
Titans 1991. And the Commanders 2016.
2016 wasn't he's currently back up for the Falcons, wasn't he?
Cousins. Um, I'm pretty sure Dante Culpepper's in here for the Vikings. Yep.
Yep.
Um,
So we're missing Tennessee, Carolina, Browns.
Cardinals. I feel like I know the Cardinals one. Or I should know the Cardinals one. Um, I should know the Cardinals one. 6 seconds, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 we're missing.
We've done all right though.
I would not done too bad. Carson Palmer,
Who was the bronze? Was it
Stephen,
Brian Sipey? Stephen Berlin?
uh, Stephen Berlin for the Panthers and Warren Moon for the Titans. Should have
Right.
known Warren Moon. Definitely should have known Carson Palmer. The other two, I had no idea.
Sipe, like I said, it was 7 years before I was even born.
So, do you know what? I think we can take some, and I mean it's loose, but some sort of pride in this.
Yeah, I reckon Ollie probably would have known Sipe.
Ollie would have known all of them, because he's very very smart like that. Our Ollie. Um, right. Well, with that in mind, I think that's where we'll call it a day. But thank you very very much for joining me on this Monday evening and talking some NFL football with me.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it. It's as much as we can get in the off season.
Well,
But
next
it's
week
been
we'll have
different.
some. Next week we'll have some a bit fun going on, and then after that we start our draft content going forward.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and we have a special guest in 2 weeks as well, which I'm really, really, really excited about to build up our draft content. It's gonna be fun. Um, With that in mind, as I said earlier in the episode, if you would like to join and be part of the AAW Network, we're looking for writers, we're looking for potential podcasters, we're looking for people to be involved. Please do send AAW underscore network on social media a DM. Join our free to join Discord server. Follow myself, Lions Guy Fletch. Follow Batch, the Batch 4547 on social media. We would love, love, love to chat to you. And until then, see you next week. And what can we hurdle today? Because my original hurdle was not is no longer relevant.
Um, Heard of the randomness?
Hurdle the randomness. Why not? Let's go for it. Hurdle the randomness.